Slow kid, I say I am. Mr. Superfax. Let's talk about it. Today's topic is Black Privilege, starring Carmelo Anthony. Now, first off, RIP fucking Melo's career. This dude, this dude's career, his brain is all fucked up because of this situation. So, shout out Melo, man. I fuck with Melo. I think Carmelo was better than LeBron. I think Melo was fucking shit. He was if he wasn't better than D Wade, he was close. I feel like Melo was up there with Kobe. I'm gonna be honest. If Melo would have run the rings, he would have been up there with Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Carmelo Anthony is a hell of a fucking basketball player. But any fucking way, I'm late to this story. I'm super late because I don't get caught up in. Like I said, I go off energy. I don't go off of two-dimensional shit down here. But this is at the same time. This is the slave skin meat suit that we're in, and this is just the reality, the sad, ignorant, immature reality of this realm, right? Human beings are fucking killing machines, and it's ridiculous. So when it comes to the situation, a lot of people have been talking about it. I didn't even know the full story until today. I just been listening to people's reactions because I just don't get caught up in you not gonna race bait me. I'm not gonna get caught up in that shit. You're not gonna try to trigger my emotions and, hold me hostage with a narrative. When you get to a certain level and frequency, you just don't fall for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You see past all the bullshit, right? But as far as this story, I guess long story short, it was a track meet. And before I even get into the story, the saddest part about all of these stories is, but specifically this one is, when it comes to content creators on social media, specifically the bigger channels, hundreds of thousands or 1 million plus subscribers or whatever. The sad part is you already know what the reaction is going to be from the content creator themselves and also the comment section before you even fucking click on the video, which is sad. So if you listen to a Crowder or a Tim Pool or some right wing people, what's gonna the comment section and the reaction is gonna be from these guys. Or if you listen to the woke people or the liberals or whatever, the pro black people, you already know what the reaction is gonna be. So it's just sad that it's like, I left a comment and I said each race is going to instinctively defend their own race, and the truth and the context of what really happened, emotions aside, is always going to get pushed to the background, if not completely fucking ignored. White people is defending the white boy that got killed. Black people is defending the black kid that was defending himself. Let's have a real conversation. I ain't got no dog in this fucking fight. I think that the entire situation, my personal opinion, I think the entire situation was avoidable. And I think that, I always ask myself in a situation like this where somebody is just like, somebody is senselessly killed and another person is just basically might spend the rest of their life in jail, prison, whatever. I'm just like, where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? A child that is raised by a father, a real masculine man that, what I'm saying, teaches their child discipline and confidence and how to control their emotions, that stuff like this don't happen to them. That teaches a child not to have to get validation from strangers. You know what I'm saying? That teaches their child, this world doesn't revolve around you. Let's have a real conversation. That teaches a child, when you go outside, once you leave this house, you need to learn how to mind your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not bigger than the program. Let's have a real fucking conversation. And these are all things that happen, you know, that's just like, these are life lessons. People don't realize how fragile your life is. You can go outside, and if you're not in control of your emotions, you will get knocked the fuck off. And that will be of your own doing. That will be of your own carelessness. Okay? So I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like the white kid crashed out on himself. If I'm just being completely honest, I feel like the white kid crashed out on his fucking self. Okay? He must not love life too much. Let's have a real conversation. So I'm not taking sides in this, and from, you know, in my breakdown or whatever, my analysis, I'm not taking sides. I genuinely could care less. But, you know, long story short, they're saying that it was a track meet, and it was, you know, you had a 17-year-old 17-year-old white kid he was a twin, and there was, I guess it was a 17-year-old black kid, and long story short, it was raining outside. They said the black kid was under a tent that, I guess, that was designed for the runners. I mean, it's a lot of specifics are being left out, but I don't know if I don't know if the tent was designed for just people, just the crowd, to just sit under the tent, to people that's, you know what I mean, or if it was designed for the actual runners. I don't even know. I don't even know if they made that clear. But anyway, so they go over to him once again. You know, the white kid makes the white kid initiates contact. And like, I left another comment. I said, I guess, like, you people don't realize, like, you know, we come from a place, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Because it's like, we live in a world where people are just they're just such slaves to their ego that they really think they can initiate an altercation with somebody and think they can control how a person reacts. People is crazy out here. People are crazy out here. That's why you mind your business the first time. You go outside, you mind your business. Anything other than that, you must not want to make it home. Let's have a real conversation. So the white kid initiates the contact. He's like, you know, basically, you got to get up out of here. You're on the wrong side or whatever. I mean, come on, bro. We just hopped into a time machine, man. Let's have. It's giving time machine. Let's just call it what it is, man. So he says, you got to get up out of here. The other kid says, you know what I'm saying? What they're saying is, the black kid says, you know, don't touch me. You know what I mean? You know, don't touch me. You know, whatever. So then apparently the white teenager, he puts his hands on the black teenager, and then the black teenager, you know, like the white teenager, I guess, attempts to shove him from under the tent. It's just so silly. It's so silly, right? So and then the black teenager responds with stabbing the white teenager in the heart. And then the white teenager dies in the arms of his twin brother. I mean, it's just like, Disney couldn't write a better script. Let's have a real or should I say the Hallmark Channel? The Hallmark Channel couldn't write a better fucking, you know what I mean? Or Lifetime, whatever one of them dumbass fucking, you know what I mean, low budget, before Tubi was around, movies and shit, right? So yes, the whole entire thing could have been avoided. And the one thing that I will call hypocrisy on is the fact that I listen to everything. So I'm listening, every video that I'm listening to, I'll listen to the right wing opinion. I'll listen to the left wing opinion. I feel like I'm the only person that's being objective, to be honest with you, you know? To be honest, that's just coming from a place of no emotions. Let's analyze what happened, and honestly, the stupidity of it. Let's have a real conversation. So what I am noticing is this, and I do feel like this genuinely in my heart. I have not heard one single white content creator say out their mouth in their breakdowns and their reactions on YouTube, social media. I haven't heard a single white content creator say, well, you know what? Instead of initiating contact with the black teenager, the white teenager who's underage should have went and got a fucking adult. Should have went and got a coach. Should have went and got if they had security guards there or whatever, you know how they got these school patrol officers or whatever the fuck. I have not heard a single white content creator hold that child accountable or hold the teenager accountable for doing what I feel like if it wasn't, I hate with my soul. I hate the fucking, well, if it was the other way around shit, but the truth is, if it was the other way around and the white teenager, if the white teenager stabbed the black teenager, they would have said, well, why didn't the black kid go get an adult? If it was the other way around, I'm sorry. I could see the same exact white content creators using that. I heard a white content creator say out of his mouth that it didn't matter. It didn't matter that he initiated contact. And I was like, oh, Lord, sweet Jesus. You know, in this world, this is just something that is like, father teaches their children, their sons. In this world, you have to expect, you have to assume that whoever you about to get into a physical combat with, assume they got a fucking RPG in their back pocket. Assume they got a weapon of mass destruction in their pocket, right? You know what I'm saying? Assume they have a gun. Assume they have a knife. Assume they got whatever, a crossbow, Assume they got some C4 on them. Because that's just that simple, you know what I mean? Like thought enter your mind, it'll change the entire reaction. It'll kind of dull the emotion. It should snatch the emotion out of it. It's like you think for a second. You know what I'm saying? You got to slow down and you can't, you have to intelligently respond and not emotionally react. I've been in situations when I was in middle school, high school, and man, I remember being in middle school. I was in like 5th, 6th grade, and I had fucking niggas in like 8th grade that wanted to fight me. I was like a 5th grader minding my business. I had 8th graders that wanted to beat the shit out of me for no reason. Because I was black. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Because I was black. And I'm like I'm like, damn, this nigga is gonna fuck it. I'm like, this dude is gonna fuck me up. I was like, and I didn't want to take that L, but I stepped to him. I said, yo, whatever you want to do, I ain't never been a bitch my whole life. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been a bitch my whole life. So if you want to whoop my ass, I'm gonna fight back, And that's been me my whole life. But in any scenario, that dude could have pulled out a knife or whatever, if I was actually starting to beat his ass or some shit. So you gotta understand, man, it's nothing like this world is not fucking fair, man. This world is not fair, and the majority, the average person don't fight fair. Let's just call it what it is, So it's just like, I don't get why, I don't get, me personally, I don't understand why the black kid will fucking stab him. Just fight. Just throw hands. Like, you that, like, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully. I'm like, you that soft that you just can't take a ass whooping? Now, they saying that, you know, it was looking like he was about to get jumped or whatever, shit like that. But it's like, you supposed to have this state of mind that when you pull certain weapons, there might not be coming back from that, right? If you pull out a brass knuckle, you got to be ready for that. If you hit somebody in the head with a brass knuckle, they might not wake up after you knock them out. You pull out a knife, you might cut a nigga to where they might bleed out. So it's like, you pull out a gun, yeah, right? Right? That might be a fatal wound. So it's like, you have to be mindful of all of these things. Me personally, I'd rather get fucking jumped to a certain degree. I'd rather get jumped. And, you know, if niggas start stepping on my fucking head and shit, that's different. But I'd rather just get, you know, a slight ass whooping via jump than having to face life in prison. That's just me. And I've always thought that, even when I was a child. That's why, like, you got to talk to your fucking kids. You have to mature your children. You know? You got these kids running around acting like little kids, like acting like you got these kids that's teenagers, and they have the the mentality of toddlers. You have to mature. And I don't even have kids, and I know this. And the reason why I don't have kids is because I chose not to have kids. I could have just as many kids as the next person, but I chose not to have kids for this specific reason. Because I wasn't in a place maturity-wise. I wasn't mature enough to properly raise a child. That's why I chose not to have kids. Now, you got these parents that got fucking kids, and these kids is fucking teenagers, but they mentally act like fucking, like they still just toddlers or something. They don't have no common sense. They don't have no fucking awareness. They can't self-perceive. They can't fucking, you know what I mean? You know, kind of like, you know, think about the consequences of their actions. They just do shit. They just emotionally react, you know? And this is honestly, in my honest opinion, this is fucking stupid. This is stupid. And here come the narratives. Here comes the race baiting. Here comes people showing their true colors. So the one thing that I do love about situations like this, a motherfucker will show you, the people around you and on social media, they'll show you their true colors. They'll show you real quick what team they on, instead of being truthful and honest and objective about this was a stupid, avoidable situation. And the main problem that I take away from it, the main problem is, I blame the fucking fathers. I'm sorry. I blame the whoever the father is of the black kid and whoever the father is of the white kid. I blame them. Because you raised you clearly, you didn't do your job. A father that would have raised his son to be a man, we talking about 17 years old. That mean in 1 year, the nigga gonna be an adult. If you would have raised your son properly to be a man, he would have had enough common sense to read the room of that situation. Respectfully. You know who keep the bullshit going? You know who be in that, like, chaotic snowball? Immature human beings. Agents of chaos. People that just don't have the ability to be like, to be self-aware and realize, if I don't walk away from this situation, I'm volunteering for whatever will come next. I'm agreeing. I'm giving consent to whatever the fuck is about to happen. So I'm looking at the dads like, you raised some bitches. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at the dads like, you raised some bitches. If that was my son and you stabbed the nigga because he just walked up to you and said, you gotta leave, and you gonna throw your life away over that? Over a loser ass random kid walking up to you saying you gotta leave. You know, like, I tell my son, I be like, you know, he don't have no power over you. You know that this kid can't make you do anything. But you don't get, like, you don't throw your life away over that. You don't give that individual, that demon that's running through this motherfucker, you don't give that motherfucker, you don't let them win. And I keep telling people all the time, You have to stop letting demons win. If it was a fucking scoreboard, the demon would be up one on this, what's his name, Karmelo, okay? It'd be 1-0, okay? And that's all it takes. So people don't fucking realize. It only take one loss to a demon for your life to be fucking over. It only take one loss to a demon for your whole life to be over. For you to fucking crash out. That's what people don't realize. It's like a full-time job not to kill niggas. Because it really is. You walk out into this world and people just, they got legions of demons inside of their vessel. They don't even have control over their own spirit. That's why it's so important to teach your children spirituality and not that new age bullshit. We talking about you need to fucking do mirror work. You need to talk to yourself. You need to talk to your soul. You need to listen to your gut. You need to get your shit together spiritually because the wicked shit going on out here is going to happen all of a sudden. These demons are going to destroy your life in the flash of a fucking eye. Do you understand that? Right. He said, are you willing to die? You know what I'm saying? That's the decision we make every day. I was at the liquor store. I was at the liquor store, right? And I'm telling you, you have to acknowledge, you have to know who you are. You have to isolate yourself and you have to fucking figure out who you are. The essence of who you are. You have to do this alone, right? I know myself. I know myself. I know I'm crazy as hell. But every day, I'm just trying my hardest to live a righteous, positive, productive life. You understand? And I'm trying to, people that surround me, I'm trying to pull them up to my frequency. That's all I'm trying to do until the day that I'm no longer here. Simple as that, right? Now, I'm at the fucking liquor store a couple weeks ago, and this fucking white bitch is behind me huffing and puffing. You know, these demons, these people, they crave they like, look at me. The demons are like, look at me, right? The agents of the Matrix, they're like, please acknowledge me, right? They get mad as hell when you ignore them. Let's just call it what it is. They get real upset when you ignore them, right? So she's huffing and puffing, and I'm at the liquor store buying a bottle and and then the dude in front of me, he gets his stuff, he walks away, and then she's just huffing and puffing, and then some other dude was like, oh, I'm open over here, and I was like, well, I'm not walking all the way over there, I'm just going to wait till the person in front of me, you know what I'm saying, is finished. I'm not walking all the way around, all the way over there. I'll be like, oh, it's fine, I'll just stay right here and wait. I'll be patient. I'll exercise patience. I'll exercise poise. You understand? You know what I'm saying? I'll exercise calmness, tranquility. Let's have a real conversation. This bitch behind me throws a hissy fit and she's like, huh, like, you know what I mean? And then like runs, like, you know what I'm saying? Walks past me like I did something wrong. You see what I'm saying? So it was a moment. I always have these moments where it's like the crash out is incoming. And I was like, I wanted to be like, bitch, what the fuck your problem is? I wanted to be like, bitch, please tell me what you got to say to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's those moments, those millisecond moments where it's like, you have to choose. Are you all in? Are you going to fold? Or are you going to go all in when it comes to this crash out? You know what I mean? And it's, for me, it feels like, because I'm so self-aware, it feels like an eternity. When somebody disrespects me, that moment between me holding it and folding it, it feels like an eternity because I'm like, this motherfucker don't know how crazy I am. I will exterminate them and their entire bloodline. You know what? You understand? You understand? Allegedly, this is all in Minecraft or GTA, whatever the fuck. I'm like, you just don't, bitch. You don't understand how many weapons I got on me right now that I'm literally letting God work through me not to use them on you, allegedly, in Grand Theft Auto. Okay? You understand what I'm fucking saying? I don't give a fuck, nigga. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is all allegedly. This is all allegedly. Okay? All right? I got the felony starter kit. Let's have a real conversation. I got the felony starter kit. Okay? I got the felon starter kit. I got the felon starter kit. Huh? Huh? Fuck around and find out. I got the felon starter kit. Play with me if you want. Play with me. Play with me. I'm 1.1 seconds. Every day of my life, I'm 1.1 seconds from getting on somebody's ass. But I submit to the creator. I submit to source, and I refrain from letting the demon win. And what we see in this situation, Karmelo he was not equipped. Jay, 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 Jay. Play with me if you want to. Play with me if you want to. The ski mask will come out of retirement in Grand Theft Auto 5. In Grand Theft Auto 5. You know? Understand? They gonna have to work. They gotta work. They gotta work for them fingerprints. Anyway, so it's all alleged. This is once again, this is a comedy channel. This is satire. You stop being weird. Stop being weird. Stop being weird. See, people, anyway, so back to the satire. So Karmelo, unfortunately, was not the kid was not, I'm assuming he's 17 years old, right? If the other kid was 17, he got to be 16 or 17 too, right? But I'm just assuming that his father, his mother, his family, whatever, he was not spiritually equipped to deal with that demon. Let's have a real conversation. Okay? So I'm not sitting up here, I'm not blaming one side more than the other. I think it's a two-way street. And you have to choose, like dude said, are you willing to die over this shit? You know, the crash out, it's like you playing a video game and it's like you get to choose your option, you know, to crash out or not to crash out. Let's just call it what it is. To crash out or not to crash out. And it's as simple as that. I'm heavy on self-accountability. I know this country kind of, you know what I mean, kind of put that on the back burner, but I'm heavy on self-accountability. I'm heavy on self-awareness, self-perception. You know, I'm anti-excuseless. Let's have a real conversation. I'm anti-excuses. You know, you make your bed, you sleep in it. You reap what you sow. I don't care if you're black, white, whatever the fuck. Okay? Obese, anorexic. I don't give a fuck. You reap what you sow. And only thing I would say is I feel bad for the white teenager and the black teenager from a spiritual point of view, because neither of them were well equipped. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even realize just how stupid they were in the moment. You know? Right? So they both look in hindsight, they both look goofy as shit. Both of them. They look goofy as fuck. And these are supposed to be, these are supposed to be young men, right? And they exercise zero fucking discipline. They exercise zero common sense, logic, and zero foresight. Let's have a real conversation. Give you a perfect example. I was playing basketball the other night. I go to the gym every fucking week and play basketball. Now, recently, over the last 2 to 3 fucking weeks, is I keep getting stuck, and it's a real situation. I keep getting stuck with this dumbass white motherfucker on my team. I'm just saying, I'm black, he's white. I keep getting stuck with this bald head white motherfucker on my team. I'm a point guard, and he would think he want to be the point guard. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm like, whatever. If you want to fucking carry the ball up, go ahead. I'll just do my thing. I'll do my Curry thing or whatever. I'll just run off screens, get my wide open shots, whatever. I'm cool with that. So this nigga, he can't dribble. He want to play point guard, right? He want to bring the ball up and initiate the offense, but he can't fucking dribble. And he don't look up. When he dribbles the ball, he's like staring at the ground. So I'm like, okay. So we'll be playing and we out there trying to get a good workout in, but we out there trying to win as well. So this dude, he's fucking trash. And apparently I had to be the only fucking nigga on the court to tell him that. Out of fucking you know what I mean? We play 5-on-5 out of fucking 8 other people. I had to be the one to tell him he's fucking garbage. And so my problem with him was I'd be wide open and he don't know, he just can't fucking dribble. So he passed the ball mad late or he throw the ball away. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I'm looking at him like he'll throw the ball and throw it away, turn the ball over, or he'll pass it to me, mad late. And then by the time he passed me the ball, I got a fucking 6'2" nigga in my face and shit. I'm like, bro, you're fucking up the rhythm of the game. Like, you should know that you not equipped with the skill set to play the position. You probably shouldn't be playing at all. You probably should have stayed home, or you should probably practice. You understand? So one play, he passes me the ball. And it was a terrible fucking pass. He lobs it in the fucking air or some shit. I'm like, bro, I'm 5'7". I'm not dunking shit. What the fuck? I'm not dunking a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? So then he gets mad at me. And tries to crash out. He's like, I just look at him he threw a terrible pass, and I just looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he immediately got mad at me, even though he made a mistake, even though he sucked, he trash, he fucked up. He got mad at me because he was like, why you gotta react like that? This is what I'm saying. These people are fucking retarded. These people are retarded. He got mad at me. He was like, why you gotta react like that? You so negative and all of this shit. I'm like, I told him, I said, bro, just pass me the fucking ball. Just give me a regular ass pass. Don't fucking lob the ball. Don't fucking try to float the ball. Don't try to fucking throw it behind your back. Just like a fucking first grader. Just pass me the fucking ball regularly. Just give me a regular ass pass so I can try to make this shot right quick so we can win the fucking game. The fuck is wrong with you? You suck. You really shouldn't even be on the court. You suck. So that's what I told him. And then he got all mad. The nigga got all mad as shit. He got butthurt as fuck. the nigga got all mad. He got all of his feelings and shit because, once again, these people hate the truth. I told him, I said, you fucking suck, dude. I said, you can't even pass a basketball. You suck. You know what I'm saying? And instead of him being like, you know what I noticed? Niggas never say, you know what? Niggas never say, bro, I can't remember the last time somebody said to me, the first time I'm telling somebody the truth. Acknowledge the truth the first time somebody tell you. It ain't got to take 2 weeks, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? The first time somebody go out of their way to tell you the truth, you need to get on your fucking hands and knees and praise that motherfucker. Say, thank you. Thank you. Because the alternative is a nigga lie to you. But anyway, so he got mad at me because I told him the truth, that he sucks at basketball. And it got to a point where we was both yelling at each other. And I could have easily escalated the problem. I could have slapped him in his fucking mouth. I could have tried, I could have kicked the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily, I would have loved to fucking swing on this dude, broke his fucking jaw right there. You know what I'm saying? For trying to fucking disrespect me or come back at me when I did nothing wrong. You suck. You turn it like, you know what I mean? A grown man out here, we playing pickup basketball. You keep throwing the fucking ball away. We can't even win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's to the point where it's like, and it's crazy because I avoided the nigga. When it was my turn to play, and I told him, I said, yo, I'ma just play the next game. So I even waited. See, I do everything possible to avoid to avoid interacting with the demon. I do everything possible. But sometimes it don't matter. Sometimes it's unavoidable. And even then, you still have to exercise spiritual restraint. I didn't want to play on the same team as this dude. I'd rather play against him and bust his ass. But somehow, some way, I avoided playing with the nigga, and somehow the nigga lost. I guess he lost, and then he still got back on my team. I'm like, what the fuck is happening, yo? So fucking 5 minutes into the game, I'm arguing with this nigga because it's like I already seen it coming. I see when you evolve spiritually, you can see the fucking future. You see all the bullshit coming your way 100 miles away. You know? So I try to avoid bullshit, man. I try to avoid, a motherfucker I try to avoid an energy vampire. I try to avoid somebody that's trying to harvest my energy. I try to avoid a low vibrational motherfucker. Leave me the fuck alone. Get away from me. Leave me away from me. You know what I'm saying? Get away from me. I'm just like, get off. It's dirt off my shoulder. Get off me. Ugh. Get away from me. Ugh. Because at the end of the day, it's all about energy and it's all about frequency. And the difference between us and them is there's a gap. There's a gap in the frequency of energy that we on and the frequency of energy that they on. And at the end of the day, energy is a fucking language. And we speak in 2 different fucking languages. And it's as simple as that. When you trying to fucking explain some shit to somebody, just like this Karmelo situation, when you trying to have an objective, you know what I'm saying, highly elevated spiritual conversation about this, the average person is not going to have a clue. A clue. The average person is a fucking parrot. The average person is a fucking parrot. The average person is a monkey. Okay? They're going to do what they see. Let's have a real conversation. Average person is dead. The average person is dead. So with that, it's low key. I am, I say I am. You know who I am. What a stupid ass situation. And if I had a kid, you know what I'm saying? If I had a kid, it's like, I'd be so disappointed if my kid ever reacted like that. or initiated a situation, like was involved altogether. That's a situation where it's like a child that was guided spiritually properly. They would have if the kid came over and said, "You got to get out of here," they would have just laughed in their face and they would have just walked away.